Hey guys, so today you guys are going to be doing a chisel project, okay? You're going to do something that looks similar to this, okay? You get to pick whatever you'd like. So what's going to happen? You're going to go grab a block of wood. There will be all the blocks. I will set them all on this table saw. That's where you're going to grab your block of wood, okay? You're also going to need a chisel and a bench hook, okay? If you haven't been in the shop before, I will show you where to find all that stuff. When you grab a chisel, okay, remember our chisel safety. You guys just watched the video last day of that guy on YouTube, okay? Chisels are a two-handed tool. That means that at all times, there are two hands on the chisel and nothing is ever in front of the chisel, okay? That is the same principle when you go to grab a chisel, okay? Two hands on the tool, okay? And it is not pointed at anybody. It's not pointed at yourself. It's not pointed in at your guts, okay? I like to have my elbow jammed into my hip and holding my chisel just like this as I walk around the shop, okay? So you need that and you need a bench hook. I'll grab the camera here and we'll go for a quick walk. All right, so here we go. We're walking. Over here, this is where you're gonna grab your chisels, okay? So you grab a chisel, you'll notice that on the chisel, most of the chisels, not all of them, there's a couple that are missing it. There's this little plastic guard, okay? I'll show you what to do with this later. Now we're gonna walk down this way and you're gonna grab a bench hook, okay? These are our bench hooks. Perfect, these two. And then we'll go back to our table, okay? I'm gonna set you back over here and I will leave my stuff there. How we doing? Can you see me? Sweet. Okay. So, oh, and I forgot, you will also need a pencil, okay? So, the first things first, you will have a chisel. Your chisel should be in a guard. If I bring this up here, okay? To take the guard off, you push at the back and it pops loose and then you just slide it out, okay? To put it in is the reverse. You slide it. Don't slide it through the backside, that'll cut you. You want to slide it, you might have to kind of bend it down so that it slides tip up, and then you just clip it back on. Okay? Sweet. So, I can take my chisel out. I leave the guard in the trough so that it doesn't go anywhere. Okay? Take my block of wood, and you need a pencil. Sometimes over by, and you can see them. Over by the wood glue, I have some pencils sitting there. Mr. Taylor usually has one in his pocket. Let's see if I can find that sucker. There it is right there. Okay. I need you to draw something on your block of wood. Okay. It needs to be something with nice straight lines. Okay. So a chisel is a round or a straight flat object. If I draw little circles like this and then I try and chisel that, it's not going to work very well for me. Okay. I also want whatever you draw to take up the whole piece of wood. Don't draw in this tiny little bottom corner, all right? So what I'm gonna do, Mr. Taylor, I always demonstrate with a big T. Okay, so we'll draw this big T, and I want my big T to take up most of my board. Just like that, okay? There's my big T, all right? I have nice wide areas that I can put my chisel into and I can chisel out my project, okay? I'm gonna pull you up closer and stick you right above my workspace here. Perfect, just like that, okay? So there's the T that I drew. Now what's gonna happen is you're gonna take your chisel and you are going to sever all these wood fibers. So you guys have learned lots and lots and lots about wood, right? We have our end grain here. This is the side grain, okay? You've talked about how you can chisel across something and then peel shavings out, all right? That's exactly what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna take my chisel, I'm gonna stand it up on my line, and I'm just gonna push down. Okay, stand it up. I see how it kind of slides into there and locks in. I'm going to slide that down so that it's still in there, just like that, and then walk it over. and push down. Okay, walk it over, push down. Pushing down does work, and you can see that like as my fingernail slides, it locks into that groove. Okay, so we are severing the wood fibers there. The way to make this a little bit better is to go grab a mallet. Okay, so over here, right next to our chisels, is where our mallets are. So we'll go grab one of those. You are gonna use one mallet per table. Does everybody hear me? One mallet per table, okay? And you can use this. So now, even though this is a two-handed tool, okay? And I said keep two hands on it at all times. If you are using your chisel with a hammer, you can hold onto it and then use this as your propeller, and both of your hands are still behind the cutting edge. Okay, so I'm gonna stand it up. Notice I'm not absolutely beating the crap out of it. It's just a little tap to sever the wood fibers. Okay, and if I show you this, you can see that it's a deeper crack. Okay, so I'm just gonna go across the top here. Again, we are severing the wood fibers across the grain. Okay, not with the grain across it. So I'm gonna go like this, right across the top. Okay, so I cut all the way across the top. Okay, we don't put our chisel with the grain and then use our mallet, because that's how it splits, right? This piece of wood is kind of chewed off on the side, so I'll show it. If I put this on the side and I hammer, wow, blew it apart. Okay, and you can see my whole project just broke. Okay, if that's how you're planning on chiseling, then that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, so mallets are only used across to sever the wood fibers. Where else on this block of wood would I want to sever the wood fibers? What's an across the grain? Everybody think about it. Okay, I see 3 spots. Right here, I want to sever the grain. Right here, I want to sever the grain. And the bottom of my T. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you're going to put that way out there. See if I can get this spun around a bit. On the end of your bench hook, so that it is held there for you. Okay, then you're going to take your chisel, two-handed tool. I like to use my chisel, if you can see, bevel. There you go. See how it's shiny? I like going bevel down and having the whole flat backside facing towards me. So I take my left hand, my non-dominant hand, I pinch it between these 2 fingers, my thumb and my pointer finger, and then my right hand is my propelling finger, or propelling hand. Okay, this is the one that gives me all the power. This is the one that gives me the control. Okay, so I'm going to take this and go over to my project, and boy, I wonder if I could get us a little closer. Can I just lean this over top? That's a little better. Okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to set it right along the edge. Can you see that? I'm right along the edge, and I'm going to just chisel nice light pass up, and you'll notice how it stopped when I hit there, and then I have this little shaving that popped off. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm not pushing hard, I'm just pushing, and we're just chiseling out pieces of wood. Okay, and I'm taking a very shallow cut as I do it. I could go a little closer, right along there, and I can wiggle sometimes if you're not getting a nice cut. You can give a little wiggle, and a wiggle, okay, and it breaks off. And you're just going to keep chiseling. You can do one of 2 things, okay? So I'm going across the top, cutting here, and then I'm pulling these out, okay? When I'm done, my T is going to be what's called recessed. Whoops, see, and I chiseled too hard, and I popped the top out of it. Okay, if that happens to you, we're just practicing. Forget about it. We're just going to move on and keep going. Okay? What I was saying is that we're making a recess. So what we're doing, the way I'm cutting from the inside of the T out. That is going to make this all cut out, right? and this will be a divot. Okay, the other way you could do this is if you want the T to kind of stand up off the page, you chisel the background away from whatever you drew. So what I did here is I chiseled the background away, and then that's what made my T stand out. All right, you can do it whatever way you want, and that's what we're doing today. Okay, remember, chisel's the two-handed tool. I don't want to hear any stories of anybody getting cut because they weren't listening to the rules. You'll use a mallet, one mallet per table, and everybody needs a bench hook. Okay, and the bench hook is what you're pushing against when you're using your chisel. None of this stuff. I see a lot of you guys out here trying to, and then people hold onto it like this and then they start chiseling. Why is that a bad idea? Number one, I broke the golden rule of chisels. I'm not using two hands on the tool. Number two, here's why. As I'm chiseling, remember how I slipped through and broke that piece out? If I slip through and hit my finger, I'm going to Mr. Taylor for Band-Aids. Okay, so two-handed tool. When we're done, it's going to be cleanup time. To clean up, make sure you put away all of your tools first. So you're going to put all of your tools back where they go first. All right. After that, you're going to come back, sweep off the top of your table and flip your chairs up. Some jobs you could have are using the brooms, okay, or using the little bench brooms that are sitting right there on the counter. All right. Something else you could do is you could close all these vices up. Some of them will be open. If you see any other tools laying out, you can put those away. Okay. Everybody needs to work together. And the way we do this is we start at the back of the class. So me or substitute will have the leaf blower, which is sitting over there. Okay. We'll take the leaf blower. We blow off all the tables this way towards this aisle down the middle. Okay. And while we're doing that, you guys are running through here with brooms and sweeping all of this, again, out to this middle aisle, down the middle aisle, to the garbage can where we have somebody sitting there with the dustpan. Okay? All right. Have a great day.